Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Seth. In today's video we're going to be reviewing / rating the movie Supergirl. Now this movie is directed by Craig Kalimsky and the cast stars Millie Alcock as Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl. We also have Eve Ridley as Ruthie, Jason Momoa as Lobo, Mateus Schwarzenegger as Crims, sorry if I mispronounced that name, and we even get some appearances from David Cornsweet, aka Superman. Now this movie is based on a comic book called The Woman of Tomorrow, and the synopsis of this movie is there's this gang called the Boyans, and they want something that Ruthie has. Now Kara and Ruthie are going to meet up, and through this movie they're going to team up and try to take down the gang, the Boyans. And throughout this movie they're going to go along a journey. And they're really going to get to know each other because throughout this movie you're going to see that both Kara and Ruthie have some similar backgrounds to them, Now when I heard that they were going to be doing a Supergirl movie, I was excited because of my enjoyment of seeing Superman the movie last year. I just thought David Cornsweet as Superman was such a great casting, and I really loved what Superman the movie really represented, It was one of my top 5 movies of last year, and I loved it even so much that I bought the DVD for, that movie. Now, as we got closer to the date for the Supergirl movie, I was hearing some critiques and some criticism on it, and some of the criticism on it was flat out just hateful. I mean, there was no surface level to it, it was just being hateful to be hateful, But then there were some other critiques on the movie, and now that I've seen it, I can see, what some of the people are trying to say, It is a standard coming-of-age movie, where you go through a journey, and along the journey, you're gonna find yourself and find your purpose, and really have things to do with your past and your trauma, Now, for some people who do not know the origin of Supergirl, Superman even, and Krypton, I'm gonna be talking about it, so here's your warning, I guess, on that. But Krypton is the planet that Supergirl and Superman are from. Superman was just a baby when he got shot up into space to go to Earth when Krypton was dying, But that's not the similar situation for Kara, aka Supergirl. Now Superman might not know as much about his planet or his people. Kara does. She was a teenager when Krypton just died, So she knows about her planet and she knows about her people. So both Supergirl and Superman have different ideologies and different just ways of dealing with their past and their trauma. Superman, as they say in this movie, Superman sees the good in everybody. But Kara says, I see the truth, So they both just have different ways of dealing with the past and trauma, and different ways of just doing things. Now, Kara does want to be a good person, but as I say, just has a different method than Superman, And I gotta say too, now that I've seen this movie, as I say, it is a standard-ish kind of, we've seen the trope before, but that doesn't mean it's bad, It's more fine, And fine doesn't have to mean bad in a way too, There are some really heartfelt moments in this movie that really tugs on your strings and makes you go, oh wow, That was a nice scene, Also too, I really loved, I guess the atmosphere and the world building in this movie, because we see through different planets and they have their own distinct look and just vibe to it in a sense, This movie really does give Guardians of the Galaxy, which is kind of funny because the creator of this new DC universe is James Gunn, who was the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, And throughout this movie we do get to see, some cool, as I said, world building and atmospheric vibes, but we also get some cool, cool looking creatures, and just a killer ass soundtrack that really knows where to put its time, stamps on the, the scenes for the music, and really just makes it feel like, okay, that's a nice scene right there, Now I will say the stealer of the show is Millie Alcock as Supergirl. She just does, I think, a great job, you know, of portraying Supergirl, you know. She's strong, she can handle herself, independent, you know, but at the same time too is human, you know, so she's gonna have her moments where she's feeling emotional and stuff, but that doesn't mean she can't, you know, kick some butt, you know, and stand up for herself. She is going through, you know, some past issues, but she's trying to figure them out on her own, you know. And I did like Matthias Schwarzenegger, sorry if I mispronounced that, you know, as the villain Krim. You know, he is your standard kind of villain, you know, but how he just portrays himself, you know, I guess in his acting techniques, I just thought was really good, you know. But as I said, this is your kind of standard tropish movie. That doesn't have to mean bad at all, it just, we've seen the trope before in tons of times in movies, you know. So yeah, that was my review on it. Here's my rating for this movie. I would give this a 3.5 out of 5, you know. As I say, it's fine, you know, but there are just some little critiques here and there, you know. But overall, I had a nice time watching this movie. So yeah, that is my movie. That's my review and rating on it. Thank you for watching as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye.